Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin McNamara. First tonight, another Mid-South teenager dead due to gun violence. The 17-year-old shot last night around 5 p.m. at the Sonic near Kirby High School in Hickory Hill was pronounced dead this morning. MPD now saying 2 men have been detained in the incident, but no charges have been filed at this time. The investigation is ongoing. And according to the latest data, about 1/3 of all Shelby County inmates will reoffend or be considered to have broken their parole. One man in Fraser was sentenced to nearly a century in prison. Michael Esom was sentenced to 99 years in Texas for possession of drugs, and 5 years into his sentence, he was paroled. Esom eventually moved to Memphis, but had several run-ins with parole authorities. He says the system requires former inmates to work, but doesn't give them the skills or room to successfully do so. Now, as he nears 30 years of freedom, he's picking up the slack, working to help young men in Fraser break the cycle by educating them through a program called the Husband Institute, mentoring young men and teaching them proper physical health, skills in auto mechanics, and tutoring them in math and reading.
The first time I went to prison, I was 17 years old. If there's anything I could tell any of these young kids out here right now, it would be to stop and think before you react. Don't react and then think. Think first.
ABC24's Jay Shakur will have more of Michael's story tonight on ABC24 News at 10 p.m. Well, earlier today, a truck caught fire at the Valero refinery on West Mallory Avenue, sending a person to the hospital this morning. Firefighters responded shortly before 8 a.m. to a, quote, hazmat incident. You're seeing it on your screen now. One man was transported in non-critical condition to Regional 1. The refinery is just south of Martin Luther King Jr. Riverside Park, so be aware if you are in the area. Now, meteorologist Hayden Nix is here with a check of the forecast. Hayden?
Well, we're definitely going to be seeing a warm-up coming back into the forecast here in the Mid-South after having a big chill down over last week with those temperatures struggling to get out of the 40s and 50s. We won't even be close to that over the next few days. In fact, temperatures will be trending above normal all the way through the middle of this upcoming week before we see our next weather maker that'll be arriving to give us a chance for some rainfall for the end of the week. So let's take a look at how those temperatures will be trending there. For tomorrow, low to mid 70s area-wide, then we'll be climbing that into the lower 80s as early as Tuesday, although some areas in northern Mississippi may already be there on Monday. Thursday, the front comes through, then we start to cool back down to normal values for Friday into Saturday. But as I mentioned, there is some good news. Some rainfall will be coming with that. But it's not the only time that we could see a few drops coming out of clouds. We're going to have a chance of that tonight. In fact, we have just a weak disturbance that's going to work its way into the area. But as you see, as quick as it comes in and leaves, we're only going to see a small glimpse of that being possible overnight tonight, with probably most locations not even noticing anything. A few might have a few wet spots out there on the cars and on the trees, and that would be about it. Now, we're going to go back to beautiful weather Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, thanks to a large ridge of high pressure that's going to be situated over the northern Gulf of Mexico. This is what's going to influence that southerly wind flow back into the area and also give way to those lower 80s that will eventually come back. But here's the thing, there's the front coming Thursday. We'll see that cloud cover build in. That's going to dampen our highs on Thursday a little bit, but we won't see that cooler weather come in until Friday. Rainfall is actually looking pretty good with this system, thankfully, too. It should start to settle in Thursday afternoon with our best chance of rainfall happening Thursday night at this time, and then should be clearing out by Friday evening. We could see some showers lingering until early Saturday morning. As we continue to watch that, we'll be adjusting that time scale if necessary. Rainfall-wise, not looking too bad out there with this system. We could see anywhere from 1/4 of an inch all the way to as much as 1 inch of rainfall with that frontal boundary coming through. And I will say, we need it because our drought situation is getting pretty bad out there. Check this out. This is updated every Thursday. You've got extreme drought conditions in that area in red, settling in for much of the viewing area with very little in the way of normal conditions at this time with how much rainfall that should have occurred. We are behind. Tonight's forecast, temperatures will be in the 40s. We'll go to the 70s tomorrow area-wide. It will be a fantastic end to a wonderful weekend. We'll have lower 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, back to the upper 50s by Friday, low 60s Saturday. Kevin?
Hayden, thank you. Well, picture this. You're driving home and every street is lined with trash, broken furniture, and dozens of tires. Well, for neighbors in the Castalia Heights area, they don't have to imagine because they see it every day. Our Zaria Oates was in the South Memphis neighborhood seeking solutions.
Glass, garbage, and tires, all lining the streets of Castalia Heights.
Memphis is not going to be better until Memphis starts to care about Memphis.
Ernest Nash, a lifelong Memphian, wants it gone.
It just infuriated me that it's in our neighborhood. And so now my fear is that in our neighborhood, we're about to become another dump site.
This is the never-ending pile of tires here in Castalia Heights. Now, there is a legal dump site specifically for tires less than 3 miles away from here on Elvis Presley. But people are still dumping tires here illegally and in a predominantly black neighborhood.
It would be a cry out if it happened in Overton Square. If somebody went to Overton Square and dumped tires on a vacant lot, I do believe the city would get them cleaned up that day.
Aggravated criminal littering is a felony under state law. So that means you're much more liable to be prosecuted under that statute.
So city leaders do whatever they can to intervene.
Typically, you see people repeatedly use locations for the same illegal dumping activities. So we put up covert cameras at dump sites.
While there are consequences, Nash knows the city can't stop everyone, but he's hopeful residents or the city start using this area for good.
Let's develop this area into something. Let's put some housing over here. You know, let's do another park over here. Let's do something to make this area more viable to where people won't come here and dump stuff.
Redeveloping this area is going to take a whole lot of community and a whole lot of planning, but Nash says he's ready for it, especially if it means revitalizing where he calls home. In Castalia Heights, I'm Zaria Oates.
Well, the good news is there's programs in place to try and fight issues like that. In fact, Memphis City Council members are rolling out Dumpster Days district cleanups to help combat illegal dumping and blight. The District 3 event was in Whitehaven, Southland Mall this morning. Participants were able to bring items such as tires, trash, and even refrigerators. Love to see that. Solid Waste Director Philip Davis says it's important to dispose waste properly.
Well, we understand blight and illegal dumping are a major issue in the city, and these events offer a safe and legal way for people to get rid of their waste that we would otherwise find strewn throughout the community. This is an opportunity for us to minimize that illegal dumping and benefit the city.
If you weren't able to bring your large waste materials today, the Collins Yard Convenience Center, located on 304 Collins Street, is open year-round from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday through Sunday to safely and legally dispose large items. Well, looking ahead, Bartlett is the next neighborhood for ABC24's monthly Let's Talk Town Halls, where we listen to your community concerns, seek solutions, and ask who you want to hold accountable. It'll be Thursday, November 9th at Oak Grove Missionary Baptist Church on Stage Road, from 5:30 p.m. until 7:30. To register, scan the QR code on your screen or visit ABC24.com for the registration link. You don't have to live in Bartlett to join us, and don't worry, there will be refreshments. Or wait until we come to a neighborhood near you, because wherever you live, we want you to stay connected and share your concerns with us. Also today, the Girls Inc. of Memphis hosted their annual Fall Festival, bringing together influential women and families in the Fraser community to encourage them to be strong, smart, and bold, while having some fun dancing around and jumping in the bouncy houses. Angela Johnson, development manager for the organization, tells us Girls Inc. is working to change the narratives of people in the community.
We always hear about all the bad things that happen in all of the communities. We've only been here in this campus for about 3 weeks, and I'm telling you, I have met so many wonderful people.
There were also multiple booths set up at the fest, offering families information, resources, and the chance to be part of other outreach opportunities. And ABC24 is getting ready to start its Bundles of Care campaign, where all of us can pitch in to help people in need get through the cold months ahead. November 8th, we need your help to stuff the van with donations to help men, women, children, and the elderly who need assistance or are dealing with homelessness. Just text the word CARE to 901-321-7520 for a list of items to donate. The ABC24 team will be at Catholic Charities of West Tennessee accepting your bundles of care all day long on Wednesday, November 8th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Their offices are in Midtown at 1325 Jefferson Avenue. Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you back here at 10.